Good morning, everyone. I'm Brad Carlson. I just wanted to come on here and say hi and wish all of you a happy Sunday, regardless of where you are in the world. Maybe for some of you, it's Monday. But yeah, I just wanted to come out here and, first of all, again, introduce myself. I'm Brad. I'm the guy that's been posting all the crazy posts and all kinds of good stuff. And hopefully, you're enjoying some of that and getting something out of that, and that it's helping you to better your life or to make more sense of this crazy journey called life. And that's why I wanted to come on here this morning and jump online very quickly and just talk about this crazy journey called life, because we're all on this journey. And regardless of where you are in the world, if you're like me, you wake up and eat breakfast. And I fully realize that there are parts of the world that may not have access to breakfast. That's part of what I mean when I say it's such a crazy world out there. But we're all trying to navigate this thing called life the best that we can. We wake up, if you're like me, again, you put your pants on one leg at a time, you brush your teeth, you shower, whatever that looks like. You get out the door, you start your day. And throughout that, we have all kinds of things come up: stress, traffic jams, crazy emails, who knows what's going on in your life and my life. And I really wonder sometimes, does life really have to be like that? Can there be an easier way to do this? Can there be a way to enjoy all of this more? I've been on this crazy self-obsessed mission the last couple of months and the last couple of years to try to find answer to those questions. How do we make this easier? How do we get more joy out of all of this? How do we navigate this crazy journey called life? And I wanted to share this morning one important lesson I've learned through all of this that maybe can help you on your journey, wherever you are in the world, again, whatever it is that you're going through. And if you're like me, which, again, in a lot of ways, we have a lot of things in common, regardless of where in the world you are or what language you speak or any of that. But if you're like me, you've probably made a mistake or two in your life. I know that I have made a ton of mistakes. And sometimes some of these mistakes are the best things that ever happened to me, and they come in the form of, for me, realizations and epiphanies that, you know what, this is how I want to be moving in my life forward. And one of those things that I've learned about this is how I want to be in my life moving forward, that I want to share with all of you here today, is this idea that, we're trying to lead life, we're trying to navigate life through this crazy thing called our mind. We have this monkey mind that just goes at a million miles an hour. It just nonstop all day, all these crazy thoughts, crazy thoughts. I had a great question come up the other day. One of the comments on my post is, well, how do I quiet this noise of my monkey mind? And I think for the longest time in my life, and I think maybe a lot of people in this world today, are trying to navigate life through their monkey mind. And I want to tell you that there's an easier way, there's a better way, there is a funner way, a more enjoyable way to navigate life that doesn't require our monkey mind. And you have it, I have it, we all have it. And I think if there was one thing that united us all in this world today, no matter where you are, again, no matter what your culture, your language, any of that, I think if there's one thing that unites us all, that I've learned that helps us to get through this crazy journey called life. Because again, the reason you're here, the reason I'm here, the reason any of us are here is we just want to live the best life. That's all we want. And I know there's some extenuating circumstances for some of you maybe going on somewhere in the world that are beyond your control, that are really bringing a challenge to living the best life possible. I won't get into what maybe some of those are, but if you are one of those, you know what I'm talking about. And my hat and my heart and all of that positive, loving vibes go out to anyone, anywhere listening to this now that is maybe in one of those extenuating circumstances beyond their control. But when we're trying to go through life, we've got something, you've got it, I've got it, we all have it, something in here. I call it my heart. You can call it whatever you want, your heart-centered mind. Some people call it your spirit mind. Some people call it your intuition. Some people call it your inner guidance system, but you all have one. I have one. We all have one. And I think to really get through life, it's a matter of just tuning into that and saying, hey, what's going on here? Because this monkey mind up here, this crazy monkey mind, is telling you to worry. It's telling you to be stressed out. It's telling you to be fearful. It's making you freak out that it's not going to be okay. That hey, the money's not going to be there or something like that. That's when fear sets in. That's when panic sets in. That's when anxiety and depression, all that set in. But when we start to move out of that monkey mind into our heart space, our heart-centered mind, that's when life starts to slow down. That's when we can start to operate from, I'll just say, love. That's when we can start to operate from a place of true sincerity, a place of true joy. But it's not easy to go from this monkey mind to this heart, because so many of us are just tapped, I don't know if it's subconsciously or what, just to operating life from our monkey mind. But when we can switch, when we become aware that, hey, I'm all in my head, and you've probably heard this expression, I want to get out of your mind. You're out of your mind. We literally want to go out of our mind and get into our hearts and say, what is my heart telling me? Where does my heart want me to go? What does my heart want me to do? And there's a special piece about that heart, because your heart knows. You have to trust, and you have to listen, and you have to have that faith. But your heart knows that it's going to be okay. And I want to tell you, even if you are in your monkey mind right now, that your heart mind knows that it's going to be okay. And so it's going to be okay for you. At some point, it's going to be okay. I don't know when or where or how or what that looks like. But your heart knows that it's going to be okay. You have to trust that thing called your heart, that thing in your heart-centered mind, spirit, inner guidance system, intuition. It goes by a lot of different names. But that's where I think life is meant to be led from. Life is meant to be led from that heart-centered mind, not our monkey minds. Our monkey minds is going at 100 miles an hour. Again, it's trying to just figure everything out, and fear and panic and worry and anxiety set in. But I talk about this sometimes, this imposter syndrome, this idea of our fake identity, all that stuff, that fear, that imposter syndrome, that anxiety, none of that is the real us. None of that is us. None of that is me. Who we are is in our hearts. Who we are is in our heart-centered space. So in my heart-centered space, when I'm leading my life from that place, when you are leading your life from that place, that heart-centered space, that is your true self, I like to say. That is where your joy is, your peace is, your happiness is, your harmony is. And all we need to do to navigate this crazy thing called life is to stop listening to this monkey mind and to get into that crazy thing called our heart-centered space, because it's our heart-centered space where life really exists. It's our heart-centered space where the joy of life is found. It's our heart-centered space where our true self is found. It's our heart-centered space where love resides. Love doesn't reside in that crazy monkey mind. We all know this. Love resides in your heart. And so I just want to jump on here this morning and share this with you, just share some of these things, because we're all here. We all want to live that best life possible. And again, I acknowledge some of us have extenuating circumstances that make living that best life possible, that makes living that best life more challenging. And again, I just want to say, wherever you are in the world, take time. This is the lesson that I've learned, even the hard way. When I'm trying to navigate life from my head, it's just so challenging, it's so difficult. But now as I'm navigating life from my heart is what said, get on the message, get on here this morning and just talk. I didn't prepare any notes or anything like that. I didn't exactly know what I was going to say here this morning. This is just the message that has come out that I wanted to say to all of you this morning, is that life is not about living from our head. Life is about living inside our heart. That's where the true joy is found. That's where the peace that you want is found. That's where the love that you want is found. And when you are knowing who you are inside of your heart and you're living your life from that space, then you get to share it. And that's really what life is all about too, is being your true self, living life from that place of your heart, your true self, and then sharing it with others. And I think if we do that, that's what can unite us all. That's what can bring us all together. And so I just wanted to say here this morning to enjoy life, lead that life from your heart, because it's so beautiful. And if you're here listening to this now, if you're alive, breathing, you have that pulse, you get that opportunity to experience this wondrous joy that we call life for another day, because it really is such a beautiful thing. And so I wanted to just say again this morning that whatever you have going on in your life, it's going to be okay. And to learn to lead life from that heart-centered space, because that's where the true peace rejoices. And when you show up from that heart-centered space, that joy, that peace, that love that you authentically are, not the fear, not the panic, not the anxiety, and that's when life, I think, really begins to take on meaning. That's when life begins to take on purpose. Purpose is not what we do. Our purpose in life is how we show up and how we are being. And I just want, again, all of us here to have that best life, to have the best chance. And again, if you do have some extenuating circumstances, know that you have that heart-centered voice with you. Wherever you go, you have that heart-centered mind with you. You have access to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's there to help you. It's there to support you. It's there to lead you. It's there to navigate you. And all I'm asking is just take time to go within and listen to it. Don't listen to me. If you do, that's great. I appreciate that. But listen to that voice within. That's what I'm saying, I guess. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to take a shout out to say thank you for following me. If you've been listening to any of my posts, been reading any of my posts, thank you. I know a lot of you are from different parts of the world. I don't know what time it is wherever you are or any of that. But sincerely, thank you for following me. I hope you're getting some things out of everything that I've been posting. Like I said, I'm just a simple guy. I'm just an ordinary person, one tiny person in this huge billion infinite galaxy of stars and who knows how many planets and solar systems and all of that stuff. And I'm just here trying to live that dream life on a mission to help everyone, inspire everyone to live your best life. And I think one way that we do that, the whole point of my message today, is to lead yourself, live life from your heart, not your heads. Stop listening to that crazy monkey voice in your head, because it's just there to drive you crazy. The worry, the stress, the anxiety. Life's not worth that. Life's not worth the stress. It's not worth the worry. It's not worth the anxiety. Your heart knows that. And your heart knows that it's going to be okay. And I'm here to tell you it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. In your heart is that space that says, I am good enough. I am worthy enough. I am deserving. And listen to that. If there's something that's preventing you from listening to that, from fully believing what your heart already knows, give me a shout out, give me a call or something, or ask somebody for help or something like that. But truly, life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be fun. And we do that when we can start living life from our hearts. Thank you very much for watching. Anything at all, please, anything in the comments, I do read and get back to as many of the comments as I can. I'm very easy to reach. DM me if you want. I'm getting a lot of DMs. Thank you for all of those. Appreciate you listening and being here and watching this morning. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday wherever you are in the world.